The RX-7 front guard upside down, you can see the void that I've got between the factory steel guard and the fiberglass flare that I've added. And I want to fill this to make it stronger, but also to aid in sculpting the top of the flare. So I'm going to fill this with pouring foam. There are endless numbers of videos on YouTube put up by well-meaning guys just working in the sheds, showing how they make flares on a car just using aerosol foam. It's the wrong sort of foam for a start. Aerosol foam only rises about 4 to 5 times its volume. Pouring foam rises 20 to 25 times its volume and is much finer. And if you use aerosol foam to try and create flares, when you go to sand it, it doesn't sand well. It just sort of rolls over and goes all crumbly. I'm not going to use the foam as my major sculpting material. You can see I've got the fiberglass outside flare that gives me the shape. I'm just using the foam to fill that gap between that and the guard, and that will give me a base on which I can then use fairing compound or car body filler, that sort of product, to get the lines that I want and to get a firm surface. The other thing with any sort of foam is you can't fiberglass over it. You've got to seal it, and that ends up being a nightmare. So that's what I'm using the pouring foam for, just to fill the gaps and give me a base on which I can sculpt the flares and get the finished lines, do all my blending with fairing compound. Under Australian sports sedans racing rule, you're allowed to put vents over the top of the front tyres. These assist in getting rid of the hot air from braking, so it makes your braking run a little bit better, and it also prevents lift from air building up on wide bodies cars.
Not all fenders put on sports sedans suit having vents put in them. Mine do. The rules allow the vents to actually protrude, I think it's about 20 mil above the surface of the front flare. And I've had a look at the cars that have got aftermarket flares that have just been stuck on, and the problem with them, in my opinion, is they look like they've just been stuck on as an afterthought. So instead, I'm going to incorporate these vents that I made for my Honda Civic sports sedan, and they're recessed. So I'll put one of those on each guard. That's my job for this morning. Sculpt this in and get them sitting right down nice and flush. They will certainly work, and I'll meet the rules.